Hello, everybody. Welcome to Northwest Magic. My name is Howie.
I'm Levi.
And today we are going to be talking about the lasting effects of Modern Horizons 3 already.
A retrospective.
Yes. I want to shout out our two lovely patrons, King Dom and Richard Dilks. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. If you, other viewer, want to support the channel as well, check out our Patreon. Join us on Instagram and Twitter, etc. You might get shouted out. Pretty cool.
Very cool. So the very first one we wanted to talk about are some just relevant cards. We're going to break this down into some categories here. The very first type we're going to talk about are the MDFCs. These have always been pretty powerful in the format, but now a lot of these come in with the ability to be untapped. A lot of them do with the land side.
Yeah, there were a few back then, but now like almost all the monocolor ones here, I believe, can.
Yes. The first one I want to talk about is Sink into Stupor. This was a big one.
Amazing.
Yeah, 1 blue, instant return target spell or non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. This gets around, can't be countered, so that's pretty good because it's not countering, it's just returning.
Amazing. Read the back.
And the back, it enters the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. So, a lot of the times, it can come in untapped if you need it. Hey, if you don't want to spend the 3, you don't have to, but...
Soporific Springs.
Yes. Sulfurific.
Another one that I wanted to talk about is Witch Enchanter. 4 mana for a human warlock. When it enters, destroy an artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Backside can be untapped for 3 life, whatever. Same thing. Versatile. That's what we're valuing here, is the versatility. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's really all MDFCs truly are anymore, right? It's the versatility of them.
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about the other ones, but there's plenty good ones. So if you want to see how amazing those are, go check them out.
Yeah.
Next, I wanted to talk about what's been a hot topic for the last 2 months. When did this come out? 2 months ago?
Yeah, just about.
Nadu.
Ooh.
Winged.
The Boogeyman.
Wisdom. I was gonna do it by memory, but I don't want to butcher it because he does have a paragraph on him.
He does, yes.
3 mana Simic for a bird wizard. He's a 3/4 with flying. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it is a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn.
He's arguably made the biggest impact out of pretty much all the cards. A lot of them made big impacts, but he's the biggest topic right now.
As a commander, he has made a huge splash in CEDH, and it's very hard to build him without being just kind of not oppressive.
The biggest target at the table.
long turns with way too much value where you might just straight up win out of nowhere. All you need is Greaves, Lightning Greaves, or Shuko. Is that the
Shuko? Yeah.
Other one. Yeah,
if anybody had a Shuko chilling in their bulk, because that card was like 20 cents before, and now it's like super expensive because of Nadu.
$12, but that's a huge percentage increase.
I guess, sorry, not super expensive, but it's like a lot, yeah.
It's
compared
like
to what it was.
Yeah. The thing that I wanted to talk about, though, is like he's really good in a bunch of commanders. If your commander can target anything, we talked about it in our last video that
he's a good 99 card as well.
Yeah,
Miss Bumbleflower. Yeah,
targets one of your creatures every time you cast a spell. Derevi, whenever any of your creatures, any of them, deal combat damage to a player. The Wise Mothman, whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, you put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to X target creatures. I think it's more than 1.
Any commander that targets it, just yeah.
He's amazing. He's really good. I think that we're gonna see him a lot, and I think that a lot of people are gonna call for him to be ban worthy.
Yeah,
I don't think he will. Though. I honestly do not think he will be banned.
I don't think so either, but there's a lot of discussion, and there's probably a lot of play groups that already. If you're watching this, your play group might already have them banned. Who knows?
The next category is lands. We have, I don't know what people are calling these. We have names for all sorts of cycles.
Utility lands.
They're utility lands. I'm calling them the keyword lands because they all have a keyword associated with them. Arcwave Innovation, Arena of Glory, Shifting Woodland, Spymaster's Vault, Monumental Henge. They all enter the battlefield tapped unless you control a basic land, or a land with a basic land type of that color. Plains, island, mountain, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite of these is Arena of Glory. This has already won
Mine
me.
too.
It has won me several games already.
Yeah.
Like literally, I mean not by itself, but in conjunction with other cards.
Yeah.
It has tap to add red, or it has red and tap to exert it, which means it doesn't untap during your next turn. Usually, you don't get to your next turn because you win. Add red, red. If that mana is spent on a creature spell, it gains haste until end of turn. And notably, you could take both those red pips and split them between two creatures, give them both haste.
Yep.
Amazing. Especially if this land doesn't come down until the turn you're going to use it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it really takes people off guard.
I put this in Voha. I should see this in every Ur-Dragon deck. You better put that in.
I have all of these. I don't know if you know this. I have all of these available, like in every deck that can use them.
Yeah.
So my Omnath.
I
don't have an Omnath because that one's really tight. But I have Arena of Glory in my other 3 red decks. I have Arcwave Innovation in my other 3 blue decks, and I have Monumental Henge in my one other deck that can run it or something. I run them all. I run them all. They're amazing. The utility is great. I also really like Talon Gates of Madara and Horizon of Progress. Horizon of Progress is like more incremental value and way more versatile. I like versatility. That's the theme of the video. Where you can ramp with it. And then also Talon Gates of Madara, when it ETBs, up to 1 target creature phases out. That can be yours to save it from removal. That can be your opponent's to get rid of a blocker or just get rid of a problem piece.
You've done that to me when I was playing Chisgoria. I had Commander's Plate on him, and one of the only ways for you to get around that was Talon Gates of Madara.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So
truly amazing.
That's another really practical use for Talon Gates of Madara.
I think you were gonna kill me if I didn't do that.
I was gonna kill you.
Yeah, that was crazy. And notably, I could do that because of the ability, in case the people are listening and not watching. 4 mana to put it from your hand onto the battlefield. So it's like kind of built-in ramp too. You can do it whenever you want.
Yep. So that was a really good use of it. Other than that, I think Ugin's Labyrinth is worth just, giving a little shout out to. Ugin's Labyrinth it has Imprint. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a colorless card with mana value 7 or greater from your hand. Add colorless. If the card exiled with Ugin's Labyrinth, add 2 colorless instead. And then tap, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. This is so good for early game. And then whenever you just need your thing back, you just bring it back. So this one was so useful. I pulled one the other day and I was really happy.
And it's a great segue into our next segment, Eldrazi. Every playgroup has an Eldrazi player, and every playgroup might have 2. Now that we got so much more support, not just in colorless, but in 5 colors. I don't want to read every single card here, but we got Echoes of Eternity, a game-winning card. Ulalek himself is a game-winning card. Mm-hmm. We have the 3 new Titans, Ulamog the Defiler, also good in +1 counter decks. Kozilek, which in colorless decks, they will love the pump and the card draw that you get from that. Mm-hmm. And Emrakul, the World Anew, where you can take all the creatures from somebody. Eldrazi got a couple other colorless protection spells, which it really needed. Eldritch Immunity, insane, can give all your creatures protection from each color. And I lost the other one. How about it's just that one, guys? It's really good. It's really good.
Were you going to talk about Null Elemental Blast?
Yeah, Null Elemental.
You're talking about protection?
Yeah,
okay.
Null Elemental Blast, you're right. It's not Eldrazi, but it's colorless support.
Yeah.
It's not on the page that I have up, so we're not going to spend too long on this one because it still does need more support. But energy. It's the unofficial 6th, 7th, 8th color of magic, depending on how you look at it.
Energy is definitely like it's a weird one for sure, but with more support, it's just gonna get a little more popular as time goes on.
Some cool
what
cards
interesting
to look
ones
out
do we
for.
have here, Howie?
Guide of Souls is cool in certain decks that really want to go wide, because whenever another creature enters, you get a life and an energy counter, and whenever you attack, you may pay 3 energy to put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter on a attacking creature, and it becomes an angel in addition to its other types.
Energy aside, this is just a pretty solid creature. Like,
he's super
really
cool.
Not bad.
I was brewing up, I know you know this, I was brewing up a Nim Kapal. Is that what it's called? Pakal.
Yeah, something like that.
Pakal deck, and this would have been one of the best 1-drops in the deck, easily. Maybe the best one, because whenever you do the thing and you put gnomes down, you get energy and life, and then you spend that energy to put +1 counters on commander, and then it's just a good cycle.
Very reliable way to get energy if you have a deck that revolves around that.
Yeah.
Getting lots of creatures, lots of token creatures, most likely.
Mm-hmm. Volatile Stormdrake is 2 mana, has flying, hexproof from activated and triggered abilities. When it enters the battlefield, exchange control of him and any target creature an opponent controls. People miss that part. When you do, you get 4 energy, then sacrifice that creature unless you pay an amount of energy equal to its mana value. So you can even pick somebody's Emrakul of the World anew and just sacrifice it at the end, and that's fine. And you probably don't want to do that, though, because of its triggered ability. That would be bad. Pick any other card. I don't know why I brought that one up. The last one I want to talk about, actually, is Chthonian Nightmare. It's like one of the only black ones, I think. 1 and a black for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy, and then you can pay X energy and sacrifice a creature at instant speed. Return it to its owner's hand. Oh, that's part of the activated cost. Return target creature card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. I lied, it's only as a sorcery. But that still feeds into itself, and it's a really good loop for graveyard decks or aristocrat style decks.
This is very loopable.
Very loopable. I think we need one more really pushed energy set. Like if we had a Return to Kaladesh that was super pushed, we would see a lot more energy. I know that we're going to see some Satya and stuff, but we're borderline. I think this really helped, but like it's still just barely not enough for me. Personally, but it's getting they're
there,
all playable,
man.
and I mean, it doesn't just have to be energy. If you build an energy deck, you can lean into proliferation because you can proliferate the counters and stuff. But
yeah, super doable.
Like it is really close to just being like to singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to singing.
Okay.
What else
the last
we got?
things that we were going to talk about. This is the last category, which is just kind of like here and there cards. I don't think I want that to be the category title, but you should put it on a screen anyway.
Here and there.
Here and there cards. Like, these won't go in every deck, but the decks that want them will love them. And we are going to see them a lot. I don't think there's any deck out there that didn't get a piece from Modern Horizons 3. Like, honestly, no.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
The first one I'm going to talk about is Fanatic of Ronos. I've already stand over this card on the channel, I'm pretty sure.
Love this. I love it too, though. It's so easy to love.
I'm really high on the card. I think I have it in all of my green decks at the moment just because it hits the threshold.
Plus, he looks like a cool, wise guy. You could just talk to him.
Yeah, he's
be friends with him. Yeah. I'd be friends with him.
It looks like he's pointing you in the right direction to hitting the sub button.
That was a nice little segue. I liked that.
Thank you. He has tap to add green. He's a 1/4, and he has ferocious. Tap to add green. 4 Gs. Activate only if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. We both just adjusted our mics at the same time. He also has Eternalize for 4 mana, so you can exile him from your graveyard. He comes back as a 4/4, hits his own threshold. If you have a green commander that's going to be a 4 power creature or greater, play this card.
Get raw, Ravenous Ride.
Get raw.
I just played him today.
Calamax. He's in my Calamax deck. There's nothing better than a turn 2 Snake Boy. What's this guy's name? Fanatic of Ronos.
The turn 2
into a turn
snake
3
boy.
Calamax, into a turn 5 9 mana. That's great.
Out of a lot of the creatures we're going to talk today, I probably have the most experience with him. Like, playing him. He's just so good. One of the best. Yeah, I think you've said it too. We have you on record saying there's that a lot of the 2-mana mana dorks right now are getting up there. They're getting pretty darn playable and just awesome.
Yeah, 2 mana was bad for dorks, but now they all have, like, all the new ones have
insane abilities.
abilities stapled on. That's the versatility I crave. Pick one of the next cards. I don't care.
I'm going to go in order. Warren Soul Trader. So this one I actually have yet to really play against or with, but I don't think I really have to in order to understand how good it is. 2 and a black for that creature, zombie, goblin, wizard. Pay 1
all
life,
relevant.
sacrifice another creature, create a treasure token. It's not tapped, guys. It's not a tapped treasure token. This is like such a massive kill on sight type situation.
I have never
if it
seen
hits
a
the
card.
Field,
I think that this might be the most
pushed card I've ever seen, honestly.
I think that every single word on this card is relevant. I am not even kidding. There is no
the creature type
no more like word to relevance ratio better card. In the comments, tell me one if you can think of one.
Word to relevance ratio, please give us that in the comments.
It's true. Like, look at it.
There's
some
not
decks
a
want to
single
pay
bad word
life.
on
Some
here.
decks care about zombies or goblins or wizards or treasures or tokens or sacrificing things. That is so many things on a little 3 mana 3/3. It's a 3/3. This thing's pushed.
Yeah, this thing's
Stats don't
disgusting.
matter too much, but like a 3/3 for 3 will survive a lot of things that are relevant. Like, I don't know how widespread they are because I don't see people talk about it online, but we have a lot of delayed blast fireballs in our play group and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This thing is going to go infinite. I played against this one time. One of my other friends has a Will Hilt deck, and I lost because of a grave crawler loop or something.
Yeah, as soon as Warren Soul Trader gets out, I mean, that pay 1 life is something that they can just repeatedly do. Once it hits the field, if you'd even try to remove it, they can get all of their value from it before it even dies anyway at this point. So it's like, you gotta counter this thing, bro.
Next is Springheart Nantuko, 2 mana.
I
For
love
an
this guy.
enchanted creature, Insect Monk. He's so cool. He's got Bestow for 1 and a green, which means you cast it, but it becomes an aura attached to a creature. And it's not on the card, but did you know that if a bestowed creature dies, then Springheart Nantuko just becomes a creature afterwards?
Oh, I guess I just didn't really think about that, but it just goes back to chilling.
Which is crazy because its ability is landfall. Whenever land enters, you may pay 2 mana to make a copy of whatever it is attached to, and if you don't do that, you make a 1/1 green insect creature token. This is, for 1, the cheapest mana-wise thing that makes tokens on landfall. Period. Yep. That's good. And 2, the resiliency of it, because, like, let's say you put it on your snake boy. What's his name? Fanatic of Ronos.
Second time you forgot his name. And you get Wrathed. You get Delay Blast Fireballed. Guess what happens?
The Nantuko.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's really all I have to say about that. You're going to see it in landfall decks and in the few green copy decks that exist, like Rico of 2 Reflections or something. I'm sure you'll see this around.
Really relevant creatures. Another really relevant creature. Ocelot Pride. This is one of those ones. I saw somebody compare like a one man, like an older 1 white pip creature to Ocelot Pride, and like the difference in the cards is just so jarring and funny. This thing has a wall of text on it. 1 white creature cat, first strike, lifelink, ascend. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained a life this turn, create a 1/1 white cat creature token. Then, if you have the city's blessing, for each token you control that enters the battlefield this turn, create a token that's a copy of it. Jimmy Wong has a really good showing of this card on game nights.
Yes.
With his the elk deck.
Beza?
Biza. Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Again,
This is such a strong card.
This is a very word to relevant card, and there's a lot of words on this card.
Yeah.
1 mana, cat, life, send, tokens, and doubling all your tokens. Amazing.
Amazing.
This is probably, in my opinion, although believe it or not, it is kind of narrow.
It is, and I think that's what's kind of nice about this. It's so strong, but you're not gonna put this in a deck that doesn't reliably gain life, right? Like, yes, it has lifelink on it, but I mean,
you want it to live, so
you want it to live. You're not gonna be attacking with it a whole lot. You're not gonna be putting this in a deck that doesn't care about tokens a lot. So, while yes, that 1 mana pip sometimes makes it look kind of like ridiculous, you said it really well. It's still narrow, but like, yeah, it's not like a One Ring level where you're just putting in every deck ever.
Yep. Emrakul's Messenger is 2 mana for an Eldrazi Fairy Rogue with Devoid, flying, and whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token with sacrifice this creature to add colorless. It's a 2/1. Blue and a lot of cards actually are getting this like do a thing when you've drawn your second card each turn. It's like a new archetype, and I'm like kind of here for it. I like it.
So those are the relevant creatures. We also have a very, very relevant instant. Strix Serenade. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying. We have a short on this card.
Whoa.
Hey everybody, Editing Levi here. How we had to dip on out. I realized this wasn't much of a retrospective video. It was more of us just kind of talking about the cool MH3 cards. So, but anyway, don't forget to check out the flares as well. And like, comment, and subscribe. We're outie. I don't know what else to say.